Hello and welcome to Focus on Liberia. Anthony here hosting Focus on Liberia, where we educate, we elevate, and promote all things Liberia to you, our audience, and loyal followers. And if this is your first time joining us here at Focus on Liberia, we wholeheartedly want to welcome you. And to all of you, we say, happy season greetings to you. Today is your day to speak. And I think the writer said, speak now or forever hold your peace. So, what we're going to do today is to give you the opportunity to speak on a topic that we have for you. Is political. I'm more about politics, and many of you love it too, and I know that. It is about the CPP, fellow Liberians, a political union that kind of awaken some semblance of hope in the hearts and minds of, our fellow citizens. But then in a very short time, that CPP became a complete letdown, and it has been falling apart further and further. And some of you who have been paying attention to the politics of Liberia have also predicted that the CPP was going to die a natural death. You have not been alone in making that political prophecies. Here at Focus on Liberia, we dedicated a show to the possibility of the CPP standing and surviving and standing the test of the political time. And based on what we know, looking at all the political variables, we concluded that the CPP had died a natural death. And yet we were hoping to be proven wrong because, like it or not, some people put some time in it. Like it or not, it was something, of good intention. But we are not those people that believe in just good intentions. Good intentions are not good enough. We need sustained, well thought and processed decisions, defined, where all the parameters are made known to the individuals therein. That was not the case of the CPP. And the CPP case was the case of previous collaborations in the past that came and also died a natural death before its own birthday, political birthday. And so we have opened the phone lines already for you, fellow Liberians. And usually here I focus on Liberia. The number to call, the teleconference number, is always in the scrolling text below. But I'm putting it on a screen because sometimes some people don't realize that. 605-313-6004. The code to enter is 791403 pound to join the conversation. I am not going to do the talking today. It is your time to speak, and the writer said, do it now or forever hold your peace. And when you call, we want you to speak to the CPP. So what we have learned, we have gathered reliably that the CPP is not going to hold, just as some of you have predicted, just as Focus on Liberia has also predicted based on what we know. Credible information reaching Focus on Liberia is that the CPP is not going to hold, and that the Unity Party is in the final stages of finalizing its departure from the CPP, and that the Nyambly Dillon wing of the Liberty Party is following Ambassador Vice President Joseph Yuman Boaka, and that it stands with Boaka in his decision, in the decision of the Unity Party to pull out of the CPP. The information we receive has been, confirmed by the players close to Mr. Boaka, actors close to Boaka, his surrogates, even though it has not been made official by them, but they are reserved. The decision is being made. And it's obvious, fellow Liberians, because we heard this from supporters of Boaka, that it was in fact a mistake for them to have even come into the political union and opening the level playing field to compete as to who becomes the candidate of the CPP for the 2023 general and presidential elections. And now that the Boaka side team can't get its way, and now that the Boaka team feels that it presents the best chance of winning in that election, and the Boaka team also suspect that more chances are that they may not succeed winning the CPP candidacy should they go to a convention, when in fact they present or, stand the best chance to put up a win for a CPP candidate should the CPP hold. And the fact that that is not happening, they're going to pull back. And why are they pulling back? In their calculation, they have the numbers that will carry them to the second round. In their history, they have done it, and I can report to you, in 2005, the Unity Party pulled through to the second round and will go to win. 2011, the Unity Party pulled through to the second round and will go to win. And then in 2017, in fact, when the Unity Party became the Bukumen, as we will say in Liberia, yet when they didn't have their madame, the most powerful political actor, the Warren Boto of Liberian politics, Mana Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, when she was not on that ticket, yet the Unity Party made it to the second round. And so why shouldn't the Unity Party have this belief that A can make it to the second round with or without the CPP? Why shouldn't the Unity Party believe that given the way things are in Liberia, the economic challenges, the huge unemployment in the country, how our people are devastated by, the happenings in the country, and how many Liberians are having remorse and second thought about the decision they made in 2017 that brought President Weah to the presidency in 2018. And that is obvious that these Liberians have made up their mind, evident by results from these by-elections, majority of which did not go the way of the CDC. Why would the Unity Party not think the Liberian people will choose a Boaka for president? And someone listening to me might think I am blowing Boaka's trumpet. If you've been following me, you will not even imagine that before even saying that. I don't blow the trumpet of politicians because I don't trust them. What I do is give you the facts-based analysis and the political variables. But hey, I told you it is not my time, but I was just trying to lay the basis for you so that when you call, you will know what we have called you for to participate. So to make it short here, we are asking you to call and give your take on the reliable information that we have received from credible sources within the ranks and file of the opposition Unity Party, that the Unity Party is at the final stages of finalizing its departure from the CPP, and that it's going to go solo. And as it goes solo, it goes with its wing, if I can pull it that way, of the opposition Liberty Party, headed by a suspended chairperson, stand-up bearer, I'm not stand-up bearer, but political leader of the opposition Liberty Party in person of Senator Lawrence. Unity Party was able to open its new headquarters today after it couldn't pay its rent and got booted out. Secure a new headquarters. And at the opening, the Liberty Party wing of Nyomri and DeLon and Zago and the rest, that wing was represented. And so all has finally fallen apart in the CPP. We want you to call, and we have few questions for you. Let me see the phone lines, and don't waste my time here. If you don't want to call, and if you are used to being, giving analysis and giving information, today is not the day for me to do so. You are incredibly smart. You are incredibly smart. Many of you even understand the issue. I will suspect more than I even do. But what is important is that having a dialogue about this country called Liberia, that these leaders came to us and told us that they were the alternative, to see that because of greed, because of political ambition, these leaders who have vowed to hold together to feed a single candidate cannot live their own words. Fellow Liberians, now you got just a tiny piece of the reason why I don't trust these politicians. Government is huge. There's so much power in government. If you are a minister, that's a lot of power. For example, let's say you are a minister of finance. That is a tremendous power. There's so much good you can do with that power. If your intention has been and is to help your people, you can help your people in that capacity. Even if you want to be the minister of defense, there's so much good. You can transform and revolutionize Liberia's military to become the best in West Africa. That is so much power. You can become the minister of education to build a country that survives the challenges of today and compete for tomorrow. If you become a minister of education, that's so much power to mold the minds of Liberians, youth and young, to be able to come. That is so much power. And in fact, that is the greatest power. I don't know what is it about this presidential power. The presidency sometimes becomes a burden on the person who occupies that position. That person sometimes becomes an empty vessel who relies on ministers and advisors to act. And yet, these people will not see that there's so much power and has so much you can do with whatever little of that power they can be given. They somehow feel they must be present. I'm waiting for your calls. This is not my day. This is your day. I have Joseph Conto. He's on the line. And Joe, I'm coming to you. Let the Liberian people talk to us today. And so, Joe, while I get to you, we are discussing the topic. The CPP is breaking apart. The case of Unity and Liberty parties, they are going their way. It's like they are leaving an empty vessel with the ANC and the ANC wing of the Liberty Party held by its embattled chairperson, Musa Hassan Bility. So when you call, Conto is on the line. We are asking these questions. Is this breaking away belated or timely? That's question number one. Question number two, is this breaking away necessary? Question number three, is this breaking away going to hurt or help Bwaka and Cummings? And the final question, would this breaking away give President Weah a 2023 victory? We have a caller on the line who has decided to call. And so I am going to that caller. Let me hear from this caller quickly. Mr. Joseph Conto, let us hear you. I think you are loud and clear. It is your time to speak today. Let hear you, brother.
Thank you, sir, for taking my call, Mr. Anthony C. Hey, the issue here is the Liberty Party walking away. I mean, not the Liberty Party, but Unity Party walking away from the CPP or breaking apart the CPP is not a new thing that we don't know of. We knew and we saw this coming. Because the Unity Party have always made the case that they're the only one that can win against Mr. Weir. No one else have the ability to win against Mr. Weir. So they have been making that case. In fact, we'll go back to 2019 when all the by-elections were going on. They always, profess the idea that they have the number, they can win. They are the only one who can win. No one else can. And following through that, within the CPP, accusations were made. In fact, they kind of gang up against one political party within the CPP, which is the ANC. And they stated from the very beginning that the ANC was not going to have a way to win the primary, and she was going to walk away from the CPP.
Mr. Conto.
But since that, yes, sir.
So let's go with the plan here. So we have a few questions after you have given your reaction. So listening to the questions quickly and give us, the best short answers are possible because people are joining the line. So question number one, is this breaking away belated or timely? That's one. Is this breaking away necessary? Is this breaking away going to hurt or help Waka and Cummings? And will this breaking away make we are the next president of Liberia?
I think this breaking away was timely.
Okay.
Given the internal wrangling of the CPP.
Mm-hmm.
The CPP have been destroyed for the time that allegation was made by Mr. Benla Uri.
Okay.
And then Yomri Kanga Lawrence being the murder in the house, went and followed through with it with all evidence to provide to Liberian people. Mm-hmm. Mr. Joseph Yima Bwaga also went on Spoon TV and stated that Mr. Comey authored a document that he takes responsibility. Mm-hmm. I, being a man who have a military background that served in the military and lead soldiers, mm-hmm. and I have subordinates, we take action. We take responsibility for the action of our subordinates. Mm-hmm. For the responsibility or of the action that we're taking, your action has to be clearly stated with evidence.
Thank you.
You don't just say you should take action. So the bringing away of the CPP or bringing apart the CPP mm-hmm. gave Mr. Cummings, who is pretty much the clear winner of the primary that's supposed to come, because this is the reason why the United Party is running away.
All right.
And the ANC clear opportunity to form other coalition.
And Mr. Cotto, are you supporting any of the candidates in the CPP?
Of course, I'm supporting Mr. Cummings in the CPP, not because I'm not an ANC member, but because his message is what I believe in, mm-hmm. and he has been consistent from the day he came on the political scene with the Liberian people. His message has not changed.
Thank you.
Mr. Bwaka, who stood in Ottawa and said that he will make sure that the CPP will, regardless of what happened. And today, he has to eat the words. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. That was Joseph Conto there. We heard from him. Let's take this caller. Your phone number ends in 6494. Let's hear you.
Hello, how you doing? This is T. I'm calling from Jersey.
Okay, T, let's hear you.
Okay, this what I saw today, we all keep saying, "Oh, Cummings needed for power, Cummings needed for power." But it just showed today, you said Burger, not you, but people said Burger got integrity, he got male wisdom, he got this, he got that. I just show no leaders. I just saw today Burger is not a good person. He's nothing but travelistic. He's the elder among these people. He sat with these people to split an organization where they put together to make the Liberian life better, as they said. But because he feel like if he can be the president, there's no other way. They may have been silent for a while, or something he appeared. So I think, you know what, if the CCP going to break away, it's fine. Let Mr. Cummings go away. Let the best person win. At this point in time, there's no chance. Many people, they bring allegation where they cannot prove. So this is my question to them now. They got new party center. They got new headquarters where they pay that due and they pay that rent. When they pay the people rent and they pay the due again, then what happened?
D,
You see what I'm saying?
D,
Yeah. Huh?
I have a few
Mm-hmm.
questions for you, and please be as brief as
Go ahead.
possible. Is this
Go ahead.
breaking away timely? Is it necessary? Will it hurt Cummings or Waka? And will it help we are to get a second term?
I think it's necessary, it's
Mm,
timely.
okay.
Now, helping boycott, I don't think it will help boycott. Helping Mr. Cummings,
W-
if he wins, fine. If he wins, at least the people know him. Helping Joe, we are in love with the Liberian people. If the Liberian people see the life is in better state than where it is, and
mhm,
Joe, we are can deliver again, and they
mhm.
happy with what they see, and
Right.
they see another state, they should give rewarded to him. So be it, let them go ahead.
All
But
right.
I don't think we have neither boycott. That's my answer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so very
You're
much.
welcome.
Well, folks, you have it there. We want to hear from you, fellow Liberians. This is more like, the folks will say open mic. The topic we are discussing is the CPP is breaking apart, the case of Unity Party and the Unity and Liberty parties. So we have got incredible information that the Unity Party is in the final stages of finalizing all it needs to do to break away from the CPP legally. And so the Unity Party is walking away from the CPP. And as the Unity Party does this, the Unity Party is also moving ahead with its wing of the Liberty Party, headed by Nyomli Kanga Lawrence, Senator Darius DeLon, and Steve Zago. They were at the Unity Party headquarters opening today. So this is the reliable information that we have gotten from impeccable sources within the very Unity Party, though this is not officially official, but they are reserved on this decision that they will pull out of the CPP and they are going to do it and nothing's going to change it. That is the calculation they have made. They believe that they have the numbers that can get them to the second round and also to take them to the second round and ultimately win the presidency, and they don't want the headache. So if you call, we are asking these questions. Is this breaking away belated or timely? Is this breaking away necessary? Is this breaking away going to hurt or help Cummings and Bwaka? And finally, would this breaking away give President Weah a second term? All right. These are the questions we are asking. And when you call, we want you to first of all get your reaction to what we are learning today. We really want to hear from you. Let's see if we have another caller. We have the man Jimmy Eastman. He's ready to roll. Jimmy, let's hear you. What do you make of this news? First of all, let's get your reaction, and then we will get to the questions. Jimmy, hold on there. Hold on there. Let me remove you on mute. Yeah, okay. Jimmy, you are live now. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Very good, Mr. Sia. Thank you for the show. As usual, you bring very refreshing topics.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's what I see what this does.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, you rightly said that when there was some accusations made
Mm-hmm.
within the party, this CPP, they're supposed to be coming together to achieve an objective.
Mm-hmm.
But they started throwing hints, blows, insults at one another. You cannot be a healthy body, like they said in, I think it's written in the good book,
Mm-hmm.
that a kingdom divided amongst itself cannot stand.
Exactly.
They had to allow a process, a proper process to take its full course.
Mm-hmm.
If they had any discrepancies that they had contention with, it should have been handled in a mature, amicable way.
Mm-hmm.
But here is what I saw. That was missing. And that was true leadership. There was nobody that could say we shouldn't look, we should not behave this way. Yes, Mr. Uri, you have a contention. Let's do it, but let's do it in a civil manner. All the leaders, not one of them could take the helm and lead them through a trying time. And this is amongst a small group of people. Now, which one of them would have been able to lead Liberia if you cannot lead a small group of people through trying times? Liberia is much more complicated, that we have much more complex problems, and this wasn't time to show leadership.
Right.
Now, specifically, when you talk to about the UP breaking away, here is what I look at it as. You do not, it appears that some people want to be crowned and not compete. Because this, the platform that they had organized, you have to compete for the position. But if you want to be ordained or crowned, so you can go to to debate the election, that does not guarantee you have the ability to compete. And this has always, to me, this has always been the fault, that it appears that group wants to be coronated. They want to be, people must just get out the way and be given. They don't want to go after it. They don't want to battle for it. They don't want to debate for it. They don't want to show that they actually have the leadership necessary to get Liberia out of this place.
And Jimmy, to your point, right? And this is one of the fundamental problems that I have with Liberia's political parties. They don't create the opportunity. They don't nurture it. They don't encourage it. The leaders even oppose the idea of a competition. So they are not democratic within their ranks. In fact, I mean, how in all of these parties, anytime there's a primary or convention, it's just one person. We saw that with Charles Walker Bronskin, who people praise so much as a matter of rule of law. When he was leaving, he ordained Yumli as a political leader. No competitive process whatsoever. And so that in itself is a problem in a political party. When you come to the Unity Party, it's the same thing. 2017, there was no competition in Unity Party as to who becomes, the standard bearer. It was Boaka. So now it became a culture. Now in ANC too, it's the same thing. Since coming step his foot in there, any convention coming, no other person can come. They can't even fool us. They can't even pretend. They feel that this is how it should be. There should not be competition. And now, what you don't practice within your individual political parties that you're not used to, that is why you now want to practice, because you are in a major. So, Jimmy, you can see why we are where we are today, just as many people predicted. Go ahead.
Exactly. And to add to your point, there are young people, very young people, smart people, brilliant people in our UP party.
Exactly.
And they never even held at least if they're going to ordain somebody, at least you say, let's hold a meeting, and anybody who wants to aspire, let me at least see your hand. None of that was done. And I think it might, we might owe a lot of this to the 27 years of dictatorial leadership, where the true democracy was not practiced in the country. But we have to get out, we have to emerge from that. We have to come to the place that go and compete. And if you win, I will shake your hand.
Right.
It's not an enmity. We have to have that maturity before we can have a democracy. It doesn't come the other way around.
Not at all.
We have to first be mature enough to want to compete fairly, without insults, without cheating. And then when the true winner emerges, then we rally around him.
That person. That is democracy, Jimmy. And so, Jimmy, let Let me roll these questions to you as you make your final point here. 4 questions, by the way. Is the breaking away belated or timely? Is it necessary? Is it going to hurt Walker and Cummings? And is it going to give President Weah the opportunity to win in
Let's
2023?
do it one at a time. Is it belated?
Is it belated or timely?
I don't even understand the reason for them to do it. I believe they should have gone ahead and contest in the convention.
Okay.
Okay, they should have go ahead with whatever method they will use, or is it open ballot, white ballot, or block voting, whatever mechanism they had chosen, they should have gone ahead and done it.
Is it necessary?
The second one.
Is it necessary?
No, it's not. It's not necessary because this will break up their base. This is almost a signed, sealed, delivered victory for the Gouvet.
Okay, that answers the 4 question. And then
formidable people now.
Yeah, and then the third question is that going to hurt Cummings and Walker?
Definitely, because you have power in numbers. You just reduce the numbers. Okay, they will keep on throwing stones and hints at each other. They will discourage more voters. It will lead to a calamity, and all of them will be hurt.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Failure to be together.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, folks, in cyberspace, you are watching Focus on Liberia. I'm Anthony Cyr hosting. Today, it is the day for you to speak or forever hold your peace. We have got incredible information that the opposition Unity Party is finalizing legal document to register a departure from the CPP. Unity Party is breaking away or leaving the CPP. And as it does, it's leaving with its wing of the opposition Liberty Party held by Nyomli Kanka Lawrence. So the 4 leaders you see on the screen, they again have become nothing but a complete letdown. They promised the Liberian people that they will hold together. They will feed a single candidate. All these few years running around and saying all that, can you imagine that? These people were all over this place. The Dillon, the Cummings, the Nyomli, the Bwaka, the Ure. They were telling us that they were the real deal, that they were the alternative, and that at all costs they were going to stay together and feed a single candidate. Today is different. They are tearing each other apart. So we are asking the questions based on the reliable information that we have gotten. Is this breaking away belated or timely? Is this breaking away even necessary? Will it hurt Walker and Cummings? And will that cement a 2023 victory for President George Weah? The phone number to call is in the scrolling text below. That is our teleconference number, 605-313-6004. Enter the code 791-403#. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Let us go back to the phone lines and bring in some callers. Let's hear from somebody calling from all the way Australia, I believe. Your name, and let us hear you. You are loud and clear. Hello? Oh, that caller fell off. Please call back, and when you call, please lower your monitor there. Let's hear the man, Caselli Double. Mr. Double, let's hear you. The information we have, we believe is reliable, given the impeccable sources we got it from, that the opposition Liberty Party, Unity Party is finalizing paperwork to leave the CPP. What's your reaction? And is it timely? Is it necessary? Will it hurt Walker and Cummings? And will it cement a victory for Mr. Weah? Let's hear you.
Thank you very much, Anthony. I want to appreciate you one more on the platform. I think the breaking away of the Unity Party is not a breaking news to me. I saw this coming. Why it's true that I'm one of those who've been against this whole collaboration. And it even got worse when this framework document was authored. And for the fact that the ANC was refusing to agree that this document was authored, why it is true that they themselves admitted on several platforms, including the presentation of the party secretary general who admitted that they changed the number resistance. There were a couple of things that were changed, but they were what? Insignificant according to him. That alone led to the problem for me. And for the fact that they were refusing to agree that this document was authored, I don't think any political party was willing to actually do business with them. Everyone was afraid. Because if they had agreed that this document was authored, their police would not have had any trust in them. That was their fear. Based on that, they refused to admit to the authorization of the document and to refuse to even withdraw the document from them to make some improvement on it. That was one. And two, there were accusations of bribery within the CPP, especially with the ANC. They were being accused of bribery by almost all of the other political parties. And this very ANC, one thing I, for one, as a member of the CPP, what ANC do most often was that they always said they were the cleanest thing within the CPP. Looking at all of these things, Anthony, I felt no reason why they should be together.
All right.
Will it harm them? Yes, it will. It's going to harm them for the fact that they decided to put them together. If only ANC had admitted to this thing, I'm sure they would have found a way forward. They would have solved this problem, and by this time, we have been going somewhere. And because they refused, this is where we are today.
And will that
all of them?
And will this breakaway cement a 2023 victory for President Weah possibly?
I wouldn't want to say uprightly yes.
Okay.
Because what I'm looking at is that before they even came together, there was one thing I know they have in common. All of them. That is the one that unseats President George Weah. The Unity Party for Fight, I can assure you, the Unity Party for Fight, that if ANC is to come second in this election, the Unity Party will get a full-fledged support to ANC. That I can assure you that. But is the ANC willing to do that on the other side?
And here's the question too, though, Mr. Double. In the framework, you have an agreement that, hey, there'll be consensus. We know consensus did not work because the deadline was December. December is gone, right? Even Yumli said that would have happened, before she turned over to Mr. Bwaka. That did not happen. Now you are in the phase of convention. So the Unity Party is walking away when it is the biggest party and should be able to win the convention. What does that say about the Unity Party not willing to go to the convention? Is that something the Unity Party fears?
I don't think the Unity Party fear is the convention. Like I said earlier, the biggest problem has to do with the criminal document.
Yeah, we passed that stage now. We can't change that.
But they are
alteration.
That's the reason why they won't go to the convention in the first place, because for the fact that they still believe, that someone cheated them and that person is not willing to admit. Which document are we taking to the convention?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Double.
That's the question we should be asking ourselves.
Mr. Double, thank you. We got a lot of calls, and we appreciate you calling us and following Focus on Liberia. We thank you so much, my dear brother. Seasoned greetings to you and your family. All right. Let's take this caller calling from overseas. Let's hear you, your name and where you're calling from.
Oh, this is Sam. How you doing, my friend?
All right. Let's hear you.
Let me start by saying, in the first place, the coalition was wrong. Because Bwaka had one thing on his mind only, was to run. Likewise, coming. Both of them wanted the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think in the first place, they were not honest to themselves, was coming together. Now, the Liberian people put them under pressure for them to find a coalition with the intention that Kumi was going to go as the vice president to GMB. That's why you listen to all the talk show you hear in Liberia. We get one for Kumi to go as VP to GMB. We get one, and they kept sending that appeal out there, and Kumi said no. So my question now, when Kumi know within himself he cannot go as a VP, and Bwaka know within himself he cannot go as a VP, what's the point of being a coalition? That's the first question that they should have asked themselves. That was the straw that broke the camel back. The rest of it are everything that add up. You know, the reason why you see United Party pulled out is just enough you can take from a man before you know that you have hurt that person. From the beginning of the coalition, ANC knew that they couldn't get their way through, they couldn't win when it comes to normal voting. They started using cash violence. This is no secret. It is all out there with evidence. Mr. Kumi started using cash violence in this whole process from start to finish. The ANC, Liberty Party folks said it. And to make matter worse, Mr. Kumi behaved very disrespectful to his colleague Youngblade on 2 occasions. One, when Mr. Kumi went to LP headquarters. 2, when Mr. Kumi openly showed himself doing business with Musa Ability. She's your colleague. They say when your neighbor house is on fire, you turn it off because yours could be next. Now, Kumi thought Musa Ability was doing him a favor. But what Kumi don't know, Musa Ability was on a mission to destroy the CPP for the CDC. You listen to Akaran's Gray one time on Spoon Talk. Akaran's Gray said the CPP will not hold. And someone asked me how. He said, don't worry. We will use everything possible and we'll use the weak link. That was what Akaran's Gray said. Why Akaran's Gray made that statement? Because Akaran's Gray said that something knew that somebody in there is not willing to compromise.
All right.
They could just put someone between them to dismantle them. So I think it is in everyone's interest. It is up to the Liberian people now. Let Mr. Cummings present his platform. Let Mr. Boaka present his platform. Let Mr. Weah present his platform.
And let the Liberian people decide, right?
Yep. And one thing the Liberian people need to bear in mind, you don't want people say it's a chance for Weah to win. I see it laughable and I see it as an insult to the Liberian people for what they are undergoing now. You know, Mr. C, you get a child, look at it. You get the child, you know, Africa will play under the ring. Your master, you don't play under the ring. You say no, you behave stubborn. When you get sick, who will pay the hospital bill? Isn't that your mom?
Your parents.
But who will the doctor be joking? Is it not you, the child?
Now you.
Who will be taking the bitter pills? Is it not you, the child?
You, the child.
That parable is for the Liberian people.
Wow.
They lived under Weah for 4 years. They know what they are going through now. Everyone keep telling them, Weah, come what may. I tell anyone, come what may, Weah is not an alternative. So when I hear people saying, oh, Weah, I just look at them and laugh.
So may I ask the question?
If they cannot choose.
May I ask the question so you can conclude? We have a lot of callers here. Thank you for calling, by the way. What would be the implication and impact on future political collaboration, coalition, and measure in Liberia? Because this is clearly a bad precedent, isn't it? What impact and implication would they have?
This is not the first, this is not the second coalition that is breaking the path. Even Helen Johnson Sirleaf, when they formed a coalition to go against Taylor, it broke the path. This is not the first. Even the late President Doe, he experienced the same thing. The best thing here, let the Liberian people decide. Unfortunately, it happens. Let me tell you, you're looking at CPP.
Yeah, you just gave me the history, but I want you to give me the impact and implication on future. But you only told me that it happened in the past. That is true.
Yeah,
you are correct.
For me, I do not see any impact. The only thing I would
think it will not discourage people to think about collaboration in the past, and you think it will not make people to be careful?
No, it will not discourage. It will teach. It will not discourage. It will teach people. You know why I say it will teach people?
No.
There's a lesson learned here.
Okay.
Why CDC succeeded? Because CDC already had an arrowhead. Next time when people are going into negotiation to find a collaboration, I bet you the first thing they will try to do is to find the arrowhead.
Thank you.
Before even going into any documentation. If the CPP would have done that, all this would have been prevented. So this is a lesson learned. Next time any political parties in our country want to find a coalition, they should do what CDC did. Find an arrowhead and everyone ride it around. If you guys cannot agree on the arrowhead, just go your separate way. Don't waste your time.
Thank you so very much.
Waste your time.
Thank you so very much.
The lesson learned from this. Thanks for the time to see.
You're welcome. All right, let's take this other call, and that's phone number ends in 7876. Caller, your name and where you're joining us from.
Thank you so much. My name is Africanus Nathan. I'm calling from Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay. You've been following, right? You know
Thank
what
you
we're
so much.
discussing, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've been following your show. Thank you so much. I do watch you on YouTube most of the time too.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you so. Thank you so much for the program.
Mhm.
I just want to make a little contribution towards the CPP business, sir.
Mhm.
I hear people saying, why coming they not go with Braga as a vibe and father that people been calling on coming to go as a vibe.
Mhm.
So there was a framework that was put together, and the framework said that they should go to convention,
Mhm.
and whoever emerged as the front runner can choose their VP. If that was the case, then they were not going to come up with a framework. The leaders should have known that since they could not get together among the four, then to choose among themselves who would go as a standard bearer and the vice standard bearer, they should have known that the next thing was the primary. So for people to say, oh, Comey refused to go as vice president, he refused to go. So Joseph Braga only came in the race to be the standard bearer. We're all trying to go to the primary. Challenge your opponent. If you cannot face a little primary, you got Joria that is coming with everything that he has to force away. And you cannot go to a primary. I don't understand why Comey have been blaming this thing that Comey refusing to be Joe Biden vice president. Comey said it over and over. It will go to the primary. If anybody wins, we will support that person. Simple as that. I think Vice President Biden should agree to go to the primary. I think it's the primary that they are afraid of. They don't want because the thing is that they wanted for Biden to just be the Senate bearer. They keep in with the black voting that they now work. They
Mhm.
came up with the fingerprint of framework, and then there's no evidence to prove anything. They went up and down. I mean, I think it is not. I'm not going to say that Joe, we are going to have an easy path. No, it's not going to be an easy path for Joe Weir. It's going to be a serious race. But this is a good thing that now the CPP, they now hold. Everybody will go on their own and everybody will present the platform. So
Thank
we
you.
want to go back to the 12 years of rampant corruption and squandering the opportunity, or want to continue with the Joe Weir administration with the rampant corruption that is going on. Along with the Liberian people. It's
Mr.
time to decide. And this is the best thing.
Afrikaners,
Yes,
uh,
sir.
do you support any of these candidates?
I support the Ghana Commons.
Thank you so very much. We appreciate your call.
Thank you, sir. Thank
All
you.
right. Again, folks, we are discussing the CPP is breaking apart the case of Unity Party. If you call, we want you to respond to this question. Is this breaking away belated or timely? Is this breaking away necessary? Is this breaking away going to hurt or help Cummings and Bwaka? With this breaking away, give President we are a 2023 victory? And finally, what will the impact, the implication and impact, what will the implication and impact on future political collaboration, merger, and coalitions and measures? So these are the questions we are asking, because this thing may probably discourage or maybe make people to be a little more careful. Let's go back to the phone lines again, and let us take this one phone number ending in 5725. 5725, let hear you, please.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Moses Lampana.
Okay.
I'm calling from Minnesota.
Okay.
And for your question, I don't think this breakaway will help Bobcat.
Okay.
In the question, what about the agreement they have about breaking away from the collaboration?
Mhm.
Why would that? What is he not considering that,
Okay.
or is he trying to become to not abide by rules? If in a small coalition he can't abide by the rules, what about it when he's running a government? Will he abide by the constitution? And and uh, and 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 I don't think it makes sense. It will actually not help him because he has proven to the to us that he cannot even resolve small problem among the few people in a collaboration. What about the whole country? He had the whole country. I think it's very indecisive.
And you think this is gonna make President Weah to win the presidency again?
Well, we are hoping that between now and 2023, we will have a better collaboration.
Okay.
I think there could come a better collaboration that will help us in the future. But future with Joe Walker, I think maybe he's very indecisive. He can't solve problems. Very among few people, how can he resolve problems? For the whole country, I have problem with that.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. All right, let's take this other caller. We have Market Do Tippison on the line. And Mr. Tippison, if you call to participate, the CPP, we got reliable information that the Unity Party is finalizing all legal documents to pull out. And so because of that, we are asking this question. Is this belated or timely? Is this necessary? Is this going to hurt Walker and Cummings? Is this going to secure President Weah a second term? And what are the implications and impact on future major collaborations? Let's hear you.
Thank you so much, Anthony. And this is a wonderful afternoon. I just want to say thanks to Liberians home and here in the diaspora. I think the politics of the country right now has got Liberians confused in a large number. And I say this to me, there were a lot of people who celebrated when this collaboration came into being.
Mm-hmm.
Even from an independent perspective, there were people who were excited because over the last 2-3 elections in Liberia, presidential elections, we have seen a lot of presidential candidates. The process have been overwhelming, if I may say it that way. And so people felt like 2023 would have been the best option to give the voters a clear playing field or direction with a little amount of people wanting to become president who is best suited to represent our country.
Okay.
And for some of us who at this stage of our political life sit on the bench of an independent participants,
mm-hmm.
we were looking to see which one of the teams would best represent Liberia and make our decision. At this stage, I think this whole issue of withdrawal is belated.
Okay.
Because it should have happened a long time. And the breaking away of the CPP started when they started to insult each other.
Okay.
And I will be honest to tell you, I know it may not be a popular comment, but it's a decisive one. That with everything going on, they are just giving the CDC the advantageous point politically, and that will lead to George Weah being re-elected. Because when you go on Facebook, though it's not a statistics that is permanent or telling statistics, I've seen a lot of Unity Party folks saying that their option is either Bwaka or George or President Weah continues. I've seen a lot of ANC people saying it's either Cummings or President Weah continues. So I've seen seditions saying it's either Weah or Weah continues. So in this case, from my own telling standpoint, I would say with all of what's going on, they have just given an edge or extra edge to seditions or the president to seek his re-election. At this stage, we are not discussing governance. No. The CPP, if they were right in their whole framework and coming together, if it is all about helping Liberia and the Liberian people, I think one thing they should have done was to firstly identify a clear roadmap of where they want to go, be united, bring forth different and alternative policy programs to say this is how we want to run the country. We want to tackle this country and change Liberia by sector. This is our plan for the energy sector. This is our plan for water, safe drinking water, running water in home. This
Exactly.
is our plan for housing.
Exactly.
But I've not been able to see that. All I've been able to see is desperation for power.
And Mr. Tippison,
Yeah.
because of time, let's call it short here. And let me ask, what will be the implication now on future collaboration, coalition, merger? And then adding to that, does this make you to have some diminishing respect for these leaders who promised us for about 3 years now that they will hold together?
Exactly, definitely. And I would say that, and let me be open, and I've always admired Mr. Cummings, of all of them in the opposition. At some point in time, I've been accused, because everyone knows, those who know me know that I've always been a We Are supporter. It's no hidden star. But I've always expressed my admiration for Cummings. And I've done that because I try to picture myself in corporate America, the feat that Cummings reached. For a Liberian to reach that feat, it comes with a lot of stuff. But for me to see them taking this kind of trend, I'm highly disappointed. And I tell you, to be honest with you, I just think it's preferable right now that we, the voters, let them go their separate ways. And we, the voters, go to the ballot box and determine what we want for Liberia to be like in our leader. And we go and elect who we want to elect as president, because they have all shown that all they are after is not to change the country in terms of presenting policy and sustainable programs, but they are just fighting among themselves.
Thank you.
Not healthy for any of them. So I would say let them go with their respective political parties. We, the voters, we will decide what we want for Liberia.
Thank you, Mr. Tippison. Thank you for calling. All right, let's hear from Levy Thompson. Levy, let's hear you.
How you know my number? Okay, how you doing, Anthony?
I'm doing fine.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, you know my stance. You knew my stance way back when they even became CPP. But anyway, I am happy that, I just don't want to talk. I want to see the ink on the paper. I want to see that they really have decided to, before Christmas, before this Saturday, that all this, the ink has dried on the paper. And then we can really start to work to do what we need to do for the Liberian people. Okay, because Cummings is Liberia first. And he has his plan out there that we have been, showing to the public and saying this is what he wants to do for the country. We need to go out after the ink has dried on this paper, which I'm hoping that they don't change their mind. When the ink has dried on this paper, we will go and have like minds to come together, and we will have a collaboration, believe it or not, Anthony. We will have a collaboration. People will come. There's a lot of parties in Liberia that
are you suggesting you who support Cummings, we're gonna tell him to pull another collaboration together?
Well, there's a lot of small parties that want a collaboration.
Okay.
Yes. And so yes, I'm one of those that's in for that. I like to go across the aisle. I don't care about CDC, ANC, UP. I need the best minds coming together and changing Liberia. That's what Cummings is about. It's not about a party.
And Levy,
it's not about a party system. It's about bringing you, Anthony. It's about bringing what's his name? Everybody together. Let's do this thing to change Liberia. But you know something? I'm waiting for the ink to dry, and then we can go out there and go and put, all hands on deck and do what we need to do.
Levy, saying you are a Cummings supporter, let me ask you this question. You think this is going to not hurt Cummings but help him?
I believe that there is some hurt in the public, some of the public who do not really understand what this was all about. But we who on the other side who are, I would say I'm far something. I'm not in the middle. I'm far something, right? I knew this was coming down because I knew that you cannot work with crooks and expect them to be clean. You can't.
Who
You
are
can't work
who
with
are the crooks you're talking about here?
You can't work with the likes of Uric. You
Okay.
can't work with the likes of the people. Maybe not like I don't know the man, but the people with him. You can't work with them. I mean, we saw them in 2017. Those are the same people from the 12th year of Ellen government. Those were the vampires that Ellen talked about. You know, even though she was the, hair vampire, but those were the vampires that Ellen talked about. Now they're coming. And even Boyka would say, they're schemed their way through. They show themselves as the light. But actually, they were just coming to get what they could get. Now they're saying that, something, hey, we have tried everything to diminish this man, to degrade him. We have said everything about him, but he is still standing. What is he? What kind of rock is he holding on to? But he's not moving because he's solid. He's solid. He was not built with sand. He was not built with mud. He was built with stone, and that's why he is unbreakable.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. That was the voice of.
And I know you want to ask me about the collaborators in Liberia. You want to ask me that question?
Go ahead.
Okay, because you asked everybody else, you didn't ask them. The thing is, in Liberia, and I would say, since after Cummings become president, we will have a different idea on how to collaborate.
Okay.
And this was the beginning of true collaboration, but we saw that the people's hearts were not in collaboration. They were coming in to, with their already made up plan, but they didn't come in. So, and this is what Liberia has been suffering from. People are coming in with unseen plans, and other people don't know. So you're coming in blind, and those who are actually coming in to work with these people, it's simply again, the crooks are coming in. And we know this because they are manipulated through the war, those that were really in the war. And so you see they have manipulated minds and spirits, and this is what we're dealing with right now. But yes, I'm waiting for the ink to dry on the paper, and then I can go and do all my recruitment, whether it's from how we call it, focus on Liberia, whichever I can recruit from.
You're going to recruit journalists to come and join your party? Who's going to do the journalistic work?
Something, because we're going to do this thing. We have nothing to hide. We're transparent.
Okay, thank you.
The more journalists that come from board, the better it is.
Thank you so very much, Levy. Let's leave it there. We have tons and tons of callers. Let's hear from Sharon Cape Art. Sharon, let hear you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Let hear you. Strictly to the issue.
Okay, so first I will start by saying these two things.
Sharon, we are listening to you.
Hello.
Sharon, we are listening to you.
I will start by saying these two things. Nobody sees a flame of fire and walks into it. And besides, like we all know and we always have heard that they have this famous parable that says two men cannot have a home at the same time. Looking at the issue of the collaboration, I think that this is timely, and this is something that is way, way overdue. Because at the end of the day, if you enter a marriage with a woman and you do not define your status in that marriage, you are a guy, but you're entering the marriage with a woman like another woman entering a marriage with a friend with another woman. You do not define your status and put your feet down in that marriage as the man. Eventually you walk into that marriage. At the end of the day, that lady thinks that the both of you are running a competition or you are competing. The both of you are the men in the marriage. So I said this to say that we saw the collaboration of CDC when George Weah and Joa Howard Taylor entered into that marriage. They had a set standard. I go as the president or the presidential candidate of this collaboration, and you come in as the vice presidential candidate. That was how they were able to manage and push their way through. If they had gone like the way the UP were, or the ANC, CPP, the ANC, ALP, and the rest of the parties went, if they had gone that way, eventually we would have seen the collaboration or the coalition of democratic change. We would have witnessed the same thing with them that we are seeing today. We would have witnessed the same thing. You are in a collaboration. Everyone is going there with something to offer. Everyone thinks he's the best. Everyone thinks he's the only person who has all the qualities to become the next president. Everyone thinks that he has all the votes it requires to become the next president. Right there, conflict of interest begins.
And Sharon,
So with this whole,
Sharon,
yeah,
will this hurt Walker and Cummings in the upcoming presidential election? We now know now that they are going their separate way. Would that hurt any of them? Would that help any of them? Do you know?
I don't want to say it will hurt them or help them, because at the end of the day, they both came in the collaboration with their own qualities. They came there with their own expertise. So that is up to the voters to decide. And if we look at the situation and think that, oh, this will lead to a landslide victory for CDC, that does not even help the essence of Liberians going to elections 2023. So for that case, I wouldn't even want to comment much on it, because.
But do you think this is necessary? Do you think this breaking up is necessary? You think it's timely?
I think it's necessary. If you guys cannot hold together as boyfriend and girlfriend, there is no guarantee that you might hold together as husband and wife. So I think it is necessary. Let everybody go their own way, gather them or preach their own platform, present their own platform to the public, and make their own way to the presidency.
And
Not
Sharon,
anybody wanting to ride on the front this time around. Yeah.
And Sharon, finally, we have a lot of callers. And finally, given that these leaders said over and over that they're going to make president, we are one-term president, and now they can't stand on their own words after preaching this thing for about 3 years now. Does that make you to have any semblance of diminished, respect for them?
I would say that does not take away their respect they have as individuals. That does not take away the respect they have individually. So at some point.
So you still respect them even though they told you something that they could not do. You still respect them. That's why they're telling you this is what we're going to do. And now they can't do what they promised to do. You still respect them.
Yeah, individually, their respect still remains. Individually, just because they did not go as a collaboration.
Thank you.
Does not mean that they are ripped off their respect as individuals.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Happy holidays. All right, folks, let us take this one. Nora Hawks, I hear you.
Hey, Anthony, how you doing? Thank you for the show, and thank you for giving me the space to be able to contribute.
Please do that.
Anthony, let me just reflect your memory on the recent post by Mo Ali, who happens to be the Secretary General of Unity Party and the Secretary for the Collaborating Party, that there will be no middle ground.
Yep.
If it is not Joseph Boakai, we rather retain the old chakra system. Now that speaks to the volume of desperation of a group of people who came together and said, within the spirit of democracy, we want to go into an election and change the way things are going on in our country. This is completely outside of what we anticipated from this collaboration, from individual constituent parties, officials. So you can see the level of desperation. So now, what we need to understand, Cummings has broad shoulders. Cummings is strong, he's competitive. All Cummings has said all along, let's go into the process. Let's just go into the process of primary or whatever things that are within the framework agreement. If you defeat me, I will support you. Why is it so just difficult to understand, as simple as this is? Now, Comey is bribing people, Comey is doing this, Liberian Pro. Where do you run an election without money? Where do you run an election? We saw Robert Sally 2014 when he contested as one of Rado candidates. Money was wasted in the streets of Monrovia. I was still in Monrovia.
Does it mean you support the idea? Does it mean that two things? Does it mean that you are confirming that Cummings is using cash violence, which is being accused of? And does it also mean that you think it's necessary, you know, to do so just to get power?
If we buy into their argument, if we buy into the argument that Cummings is using money, which is far from the reality, it doesn't. Bernard Nigeria has been supporting Joseph Boakai all along. He's been using money.
Okay.
It's not for free that Bernard Nigeria is sued by Joseph Boakai because he himself wants something in return.
That's a fair point.
Are we not also focused? Right. Why are we not also focusing on Urea to say he's using money, bribing people so that people go for Joseph Boakai? Why is it only Cummings?
Maybe because they know Cummings to be a rich man. Maybe he has a history of dishing out money. Can that be possible?
No. The fact is, they know that Cummings is not easily a man who bends backward over. He's not that because he's been tested within the private sector in corporate America. He doesn't bend backward over easily.
Are you a Cummings supporter?
Yes, of course, I do support Cummings.
Okay.
This is where with the collaboration, I know you will ask that question, but let me just come in right away.
Please.
With the collaboration. So I hope my respect specifically for Joseph N. Boakai has diminished. You know why?
Why?
This is a statement. He is an ambassador. He is a man who is championing the issue of being a man with wisdom. But at too many fronts, Joseph Boakai failed not just the constituent party members of the collaboration party, he failed the Liberian people.
But Mr. Boakai is demonstrating his wisdom. Hold on. Mr. Boakai is demonstrating his wisdom. His wisdom is that, look, with me, the CPP wins. Without me, the CPP will not win. I'm saying that because he said that I am the only one. Hold on. I am the only one who can take precedent we have down. So the wise man is saying, instead of wasting our time here going with somebody who will not win, I am the one to go, and so we're going to tackle the CPP so that all this can be a wasted effort. That is wisdom. You don't think so?
No, that is not wisdom, because then otherwise, other than that, they would not have started and agreed and legalize a framework document that would bind all of them to the processes of choosing who becomes the leader of the CPP. If it were so, then you would not have agreed, he should not have agreed for them to form or to formulate a framework agreement, and that such leadership should have been based on, look, I am the only man, like the lady said with George Weah and Joel Howard Taylor and Ellis Tyler. So I am going to go as the head. Whether you like it or not, you will go as my VP. That understanding should have remained at that level, and not to craft a document, legalized document. Then you come back to say, look, I am the only person, so all other formalities within a document should be null and void.
You think Cummings can win without the CPP? You think Cummings can win without the CPP?
Believe Cummings can win without the CPP. And you know why? When Cummings went into Liberia 2017, he was a stranger. I too, who is a supporter of Cummings today, didn't support Cummings. I challenged him on many fronts. I and my dear friend Alosha Soul, we went at loggerhead because I did not fully pinpoint what his vision was. But now that I see this man has built for himself an agent, a group of Liberians who want real change based on what he has been articulating all along.
Does he have a plan for Liberia?
Can you imagine, Anthony, that a man will tell his supporters and say, if you think I am the guy that will give you an easy country to do the wrong thing, then I'm sorry.
Anybody can say that. Anybody can say that. What I'm looking for is, does this Mr. Cummings, who you support, Does he have any plan for Liberia that you know of, that you have read, that you can tell me where to go and find it?
Yes.
Where?
It is all on his, if you went in the ANC chat room, if you went on Cummings page, it's all there. His vision for Liberia is
what page you talking about? His Facebook page?
Yes, if you went on Cummings Facebook page, if you went into the ANC chat room, you will see Cummings all of his vision.
So Cummings' plan for Liberia is on a Facebook page.
Yes. And he has articulated it over and over how he intends to fight corruption, to hold people accountable and responsible for acts committed against the Liberian people, how he intends to end rape in Liberia. I have never heard a presidential candidate making those kind of commitments.
All right.
All we've heard over the years, I will build schools, I will do agriculture, I will do health.
Thank you.
But we are forgetting the crux of the matter because we know corruption takes away all of these ingredients.
Thank you so very much.
Is saying, I will fight this menace. I think there should be somebody we should learn to trust. Thank you, Anthony, for the opportunity.
Thank you so very much. Let us bring in this overseas call, and then we will go to the comments. Let hear you quickly.
Yeah, maybe punishing you. I call it from all the way Australia. You wanted me for this long. You know, the caller just confirmed. The caller just confirmed everything that is being said about Cummings that the ANC folks refuse to accept. And this is one of the biggest problems. You know, ANC is like the stubborn fly that will follow the cops to the grave. ANC folks see Mr. Cummings walking around with Musa Beret, a convicted international criminal. That's Mr. Flynn. They don't see that as corruption. ANC promised to buy a motorbike. The video, which is the audio recording, were everywhere. That is not corruption. Don't see that as corruption. From the time Mr. Cummings got in the CPP and realized that he cannot get the vote he needs, he started using cash violence. Listen to John FM day before yesterday and listen to some of the partisans that took bribes to make Musa Beret the chairman to support Cummings. That is not corruption. And this is the hypocrisy that is in Cummings supporters. Cummings got a platform, no doubt about that. But the ANC folks need to be honest to themselves. And this is the reason why we got problems in politics. Listen to the last caller, that money can do everything. So you're saying the same bribery that was carried out by the so-called United Party that you guys blaming today, Mr. Cummings doing the same thing. So it's a good thing, right? It's a good thing. You see how the ANC folks can look at things from one way? You see how they can look at things from one way? From the beginning, the reason why, Mr. C.A., you can see fire and jump in the fire. Okay?
So do you think
possible?
This is, let me ask you a question. I see where you're going. It's obvious that either you support Mr. Bwaka or you have issue with Mr. Cummings and the ANC. So let me put a question to you this way.
I do not have problem with Mr. Cummings.
Okay. So you think Mr. Bwaka is doing everything right, or did he do everything right to hold the CPP together, or you can't fault him at all for no reason?
Let me tell you, Mr. C.A., you know, in conflict resolution, before you can make peace between both parties, they have to be waiting for peace to reign.
Okay.
Okay? If one person is not ready for peace, don't waste your time. From the initial stage, it has been proven times without number that Mr. Cummings or Musa Beret is not ready for peace.
Well, to Cummings' credit, though, hold on. To Cummings' credit, except you want to say he's just saying it, right? He's been record by saying, hey, let's go to the convention. Whatever the outcome going to be, we're going to support that process. Okay. He's on record for that. Now, on the other side, Mr. Bwaka has said, hold on, you have time to talk, please. On the other side, Mr. Bwaka is on record for saying, I am the only one who can take George Weah down. And of recent, Mr. Bwaka, in his BBC interview, he said, I am the one, I know how to resolve issues. I know how to resolve conflict. When I get back to Liberia, that conflict will be resolved. And he said that when the general asked him about the internal wrangling in the CPP. And what we see now, Bwaka and his Unity Party pulling up. Is this the resolution that he talking about? Is this the record of being able to resolve issues that he talked about?
Mr. CA,
yes.
Don't jump the gun.
I'm asking questions. I'm not jumping gun. I don't want you to say that.
There were
no. Hold on. I don't want you to say that. Hold on. I play the role of a journalist. My work, my job is to ask a question. I'm not jumping conclusions. I'm just asking you questions. Go ahead.
Okay, beautiful. Okay. The reason I said that because you just left to Mr. Bwaka saying there will be some intervention, and then you went straight to Mr. Bwaka walking, Unity Party walking out of the CPP. But what you don't know is that there were a series of meetings that were held. And I'm giving you this, it will come out later. Okay? I heard this. I could be wrong. I heard this from in the corridors. The last meeting they had at Mr. Bwaka's office, one person stood up in the meeting and said the CPP should split. And you know who was that? Mr. Ability.
Okay.
He said it's not going to work. And Mr. Bwaka, they tried to talk things over. They couldn't come to one conclusion. Mr. Bwaka said, okay, you know what, gentlemen? Let us give ourselves 2 weeks and put off and come back. Within the 2 weeks, Mr. Ability suspended Yombli Kanga Lauren, his political leader. Within the 2 weeks, Mr. Ability gone to Bangor and called for a convention. And in that convention, they endorsed Cummins within these 2 weeks. Do you know Mr. Bwaka was in Ghana recently? I'm telling you this because
I know.
People don't know what's going on in the background.
I know. I have many ears everywhere, and so I know every move each made.
No, the ANC folks that just talking need to know all these things. Mr. Bwaka just went to Ghana recently. You know
it seems to be you are defending everything Bwaka and condemning everything Cummins. This is a collaboration we're talking about.
Let me tell you this, Mr. C. To be honest with you, 2017, I supported Cummins. But you know what I don't like?
No.
I hate hypocrisy.
Okay.
I hate hypocrisy.
And you think he's the only one who is hypocritical?
In the coalition first. Come again?
You think he's the only one who is hypocritical if what you're saying is true?
Yes. Because he's, the way we can say in Labrador, he's behaving like be better rat. He will bite and then blow the spot. Look, Mr. C. Labrador is an open society, man. Look at these political parties, okay? Where is this noise? Because here, there's a saying that anywhere you see fire, there's smoke. If everybody keep complaining about you, even if it is not 100% true, it will be 25 or 10% true.
Can Mr. Bwaka win on his own? Can Mr. Bwaka win on his own? Minus the CPP, minus the support.
The CPP, Mr. Bwaka cannot win on his own. Okay. If Mr. Bwaka is successful to the second round, mark this, ANC, Mr. Cummins will do what he did 2017.
Which is?
Trust me.
Which
he will
is?
do what he did 2017.
Which is?
Just remain neutral. Okay. He will remain neutral. He will take a side.
Thank you. We have to bring others in.
Well, let me get close on the 1 minute. 5 seconds, Mr. C.
Please.
The ANC folks, when you say Mr. Bwaka lose respect for breaking away, what the ANC folks don't understand? 2017, Cummins should have joined CDC in a coalition. He broke away. Why did he break away? Because he wanted to hear that ticket. Was that a shame on his part? Did that take away his pride and prestige?
Thank you.
So if Mr. Bwaka and Cummins break away today, it takes nothing away from them. Let them present their platform and let the Liberia people decide who is the best person to run the country. Simple as that.
Thank you.
The ANC folks got a problem with it.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, folks in cyberspace. You are watching Focus on Liberia. My name is Anson Nsie. This is the hour of politics. Here at Focus on Liberia, we educate, we elevate, and promote all things Liberia. The topic for discussion today, the CPP is breaking apart. We got reliable information that the opposition Unity Party is finalizing legal paperwork to pull out, to divorce the CPP and chart its own course, and is doing that with its faction of the opposition Liberty headed by Nyombli Kanka Lawrence. And because of that, we are asking this question: is this breaking away belated or timely? Is this breaking away necessary? Is this breaking away going to hurt Bwaka and Cummins, or is it going to help Bwaka and Cummins? And we are also asking, will this breaking away give President Weah a 2023 victory? And after it all, what would be the impact? What would be the implication on future political collaborations, coalitions, and merger in the Republic of Liberia? The phone lines are open. It is your time to call. Roll in your calls and we will take them all. Today is your day to talk. I am not doing talking today. Well, before we continue, we'll take a short break. When we come back, we will go to the comments. So we will pause the callers a little bit. So, if you call, just remain right there. We'll come back to you. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll read some comments. We want to do justice. We are demanding justice from politicians, and we too need to do justice to you. Stay tuned and we'll be right back.
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Job.
Dennis Job, my good partner, thank you. And I'm Anthony C.A., host of the Hour of Politics here at Focus on Liberia. It is about time to go to the comments, but before we do, we want to roll in our commercial here quickly. People that contribute to what we do here, for which we have the lights ongoing, and they're not giving it to us free too. We work for it. So we're bringing you some commercials here quickly. There is a Liberian-owned business that has entered the money transfer market. You've been crying, oh, MoneyGram charging us too much. Oh, Sendwave is charging us too much. A Liberian-owned business set up by two Liberians is called Canaan Cash. Canaan Cash is simply fast, safe way of transferring money to Africa, especially our dear country, Liberia. Start sending money to Liberia today using Canaan Cash. How do you do it? You can go on their website, www.canaancash.com. The office number is 800-933-7871. The cell phone number to call, 301-300-7121. Well, if you want to use your cell phone, they have the app that you can get from the Google Play and the Apple Store. Download that app. That app is Canaan Cash, and you see the symbol right there. So please support your own and start supporting politicians, support businesses owned and operated by Liberians. Well, folks, let us come to comments. See how a lot of them, I remember seeing about 300 comments. Let me do my best and bring some I can't get to all because of time. This is Focus on Liberia. Well, we educate, we elevate, and promote all things Liberia. Let's read this one from Washington Boca. He's a Southern guy like myself. The political actors are the problem, Anthony, he says. Aligning and forming future collaboration won't be a problem. With that hulubalu and disintegration within the opposition bloc, President Weah Atin stands a good chance. Boca writes. Let's hear from James Jackin. By blaming Musa for fear or defeat in the primary, he lies. Let's hear from James again. Oh, he's talking to somebody, so let me look for one that will speak to the issue. Let me hear from Howard Mensker. Yep. Oh, Howard, this is the part I don't like. Oh, Howard, this is the part I don't like. Let's hear from Batu Manon. Cummings exhibited poor leadership by injecting himself into the Liberty Party debacle. He has no business going to LP headquarters without the approval of the political leader. All right. Let's hear from Mr. Soiree. That is Amara V. Soiree. He's talking to somebody. I like when you speak to the issue and not somebody else. Let's hear from somebody here. Let me look. I'm looking at these comments. We want something substantive. Let's hear from right. The truth has prevailed. They didn't mean well for Liberia. They only wanted to use Mr. Cummings and kick him at the curb. But when they realized Mr. Cummings was smart, they lied about fingering documents. This is a game. You have to be smart to really understand this game. That person writes. They hear from Afra Dennis. Is that Afra Dennis? I believe so. Afra writes, it will be nice to invite Mr. Cummings on your show. I think because we need to know what his plans for Liberia and about the CPP. Mr. Cummings, somebody who I believe supports you, is recommending your appearance here at Focus on Liberia. Mr. Cummings, this is an open invitation to you to come and sit with me, Anthony here. I only want to talk about your plans, Mr. Cummings, because you have not shown me one. And I say that you have not shown me one, Mr. Cummings. You only talk and you have not shown me your plans. I want to see your plans. And the ANC people don't like it when I say it, and it's biting them, and they can't do anything to me because I'm a rock. Nothing moves me. All right, Steve writes, it is better everyone cries their own cry. If we are wins, fine, so be it. Up is tired. Winning Unity Party is tired with Cummings' behavior. I guess he's saying Cummings is the trouble child, yeah. So, Mr. Cummings, there you have it. You need to show up. Whoa, this is a long one from Margaret. She always likes to keep it long. Cummings play his role well. In the end, dancing like a clown. Oh, she's throwing jabs and denigrating somebody and calling Mr. Cummings a clown. I don't like this, so I'm not reading it. It is not necessary to insult somebody on Focus on Liberia. I apologize. I even have to say that. Let's hear from Precious. We see Mr. Cummings doing interview. Where is JMB? He has everybody talking for him and defending him. This is how he will run the country for his followers, to tell him what to do and say. Why they chop money. Please bring JMB on your show for questions concerning his years in government. I think the Unity Party afraid to meet Cummings at the convention with their JMB, and we have invited Mr. Bwaka through those who handle him, his handlers. We have invited them. We have been on their back. And Charles Snana is listening. Charles Snana, I'm the one who have been in conversation with you for Mr. Bwaka to come for interview. He has not been able to appear, and that is unfortunate that he wants to run for president and he does not want to appear. But to Mr. Bwaka's credit, to Mr. Bwaka have a lot of interviews. He was on Costa, he was on Spoon, he been on other platforms that I know of. So Mr. Bwaka has been having interview, except that he does it very sudden, which is sickening to me. Authoring of the framework document led to the breakdown of CPP, failure on the part of Alexander Cummings to take responsibility of the alteration. We are since past a stage now, folks. Let us bring in more comments. Let's hear this one from George K. City. I knew they were not going anywhere with that CPP. All of those who have been following the political coalition culture in Liberia will relate to this. The prevalence of many political parties for a country of 4 to 5 million is a clear indication that Liberians base their political aspiration on self-gains and not for the country. And that comment might be concluding the reading of comments, but let me read this one from Trocon Gray. He writes, good evening, Mr. Anthony C. I'm closely following from my 8th Street in Sinka. Oh, you live in a Sinka area. Thanks so very much for following here. So Liberian people are listening. Let us now go back to the phone line. Let us go back to the phone lines. And so folks who want to participate, we are coming right back to you. And after we get you, then we will be concluding the discussion here quickly. Bear with me here. There's something I need to get out of the way to get to the phone lines. I can't get to it. I cannot get to it. Where it is? All right, here it is. All right, folks, we will take a short break. And when we come back, very, very brief short break, we will be go into the phone line. So stay tuned, folks. All right, let us now go back to the phone line. We have a caller there. That is Emmanuel Zaza. Mr. Zaza, let us hear you. I'm sure you are familiar with the discussion. Let's go ahead. Let's hear you.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Pierre.
Can
you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay. The first thing is I want to remind you, don't forget my request. That's on your plate.
Thank you.
I can go ahead. Okay, thank you so much. I got your question. So this is it, Mr. Pierre. Liberia is not a country driven by issues. So, any of those people that are doing all of these things, it's possible that they might likely win the elections tomorrow.
Okay.
It's possible that Wakai win, it's possible that Kumi win. And the thing is, because people look at issues based on their hate for someone or based on information they have against that person. Let me for instance, I come to understand that Mr. C's show is not good. I told you on my mind that way that Mr. C's show is not good. No matter what topic you bring to your show,
right.
I will not find that because your show is not good. So whatever show out there that doesn't match, that is not even, you know, it's not even on par with your show, I still consider your show not in your show because I just believe with you and say that you're not a person to follow.
Right.
It's a big issue with Liberia.
Oh wow.
So Ellen, when Ellen was there, you had issue with Ellen. Some of us don't even have facts. But because CPP said it, or because somebody put against Ellen said it, we believe it, and we just hate Ellen for that. The same thing about we are. People just have issue with we are, regardless of whatever happens, they find have issue with they have issue with. And because they have issue with we are, any other person who goes against we are to win the election. So to answer your question, any of these guys, if they go into run out with we are, if they like to win, not because they are qualified to be the right leader, not that because they have the solution, but because they are going against one people they just don't like. So based on that, they can win the election.
Thank you.
Now let's go to the issue of the CPP itself. This issue is a clear manifestation of the lack of leadership. Let me tell you this. Mr. Kumi is the head of the political party. Mr. Waka is the head of the political party. Maybe is the head of the political party. Mr. Yuri is the head of the political party. When anyone heads the political party, they are a potential president in waiting. And so if you cannot help to resolve issues with your collaboration, with your cycle, how possible can we trust you to be able to resolve the issue of the country? In a country where you have people who just make up the plan, they don't want you to succeed. That's just your mind. Like people will say, I don't want Kumi to succeed. Regardless of what Kumi does, regardless of what plan you have, they find I don't want Kumi to succeed. The CDC lawmakers will continue to go against you and they will send you to honor the policy. When you get people like that coming against you, you got your own problem when you collaborate. You agree on many things. But few things that they agree on, you cannot convince them. Can you convince CDC tomorrow? If you cannot convince whatever you start in the same room and sign a document to do anything, if you cannot convince you to agree with what you don't agree, to agree with what you agree with, are you going to? Will you be able to convince Akara to go tomorrow? Will you be able to convince Solomon George? You can't.
Thank you.
So the issue of CDC, the CPP, waiting Liberia. And we should get prepared for it. We say CDC will all okay, so then we are where we are.
Thank you. Thank you, Mimanda. Thank you so very much for your brilliant contribution. All right. We will take our final call, and we know this guy here. His name is Aliyu Kamara. On Facebook, he goes with Aliyu V Vamba. Mr. Kamara, who are you supporting for president? First of all, before you sing your kumbaya.
Joseph Yuma Boakai is not only Liberia's favorite, but he's the most trustworthy person in the race as far as the international community is concerned. And therefore, my first preference would be Joseph Yuma Boakai for the sake of the Liberian people.
Do you have a second preference then?
I would take Tawan Gwangolo.
Tawan Gwangolo.
Tawan Gwangolo. Tawan has a repertoire. He has a repertoire. He has credibility. He has a technical understanding as to how the Liberian government functions, and he also understands and knows the society from customary to tradition and to culture. So
all right.
We need someone who understands the fiber of the society.
All right, Mr. Alu, Mr. Kamara, you are our last caller, so let's do justice to you here. Giving credible information that the Unity Party is finalizing legal paperwork to divorce the CPP or pull away, we are asking these questions. Is this breaking away timely or belated? Is this breaking away necessary? Is this breaking away going to hurt or help Waka and Cummings? Will it secure President we are a second victory? And what would be the impact and implication on future collaboration measures and coalition? You have 2 minutes to sing your song. Let's hear you.
In fact, it is only because of Honorable Joseph Yuma Boakai's resilience, his maturity, and his understanding, and his willingness to make the collaboration work that has the collaboration still in existence today. There are other political parties within the coalition that wanted to leave the coalition a long time ago, but because of Joseph Boakai's admonishment, a lot of them stay in the coalition. Yeah, if you answer the question, what is belated? If for me, I wanted the CPP to break up since last year. I mean, early last year, because these are potential damages we saw. We saw a guy who was trying to coerce the entire unit by using his finances, his financial power. We saw a guy he doesn't care about integrity, he doesn't care about dignity, all he cares about is his ambition, thereby bringing another force in who he knows, understands, and speaks to his tone. So-called mobility. And we always said this prior to what happened now, until it happened. And we knew by coming associated with mobility, we knew the game plan, and we knew it was going to be catastrophic for the existence of the CPP. And that is why we wish that this would have been done a long time ago. But then again, we trust the knowledge, the wisdom of our past, or maybe just of Yuma Boakai. He knows exactly what he's doing, and the time has come. As far as we know, the time has come. Because of his wisdom, we believe that this is the time once he has decided that this is the time.
All right, Mr. Aliyu, you know what I noticed just now? You were signing exactly like George Lobo. Has he baptized you?
That's the key. When I was in politics, George Lobo in high school, he can't baptize me. But let me say this. Look, answer this here, it is time for us to just speak the truth for what it is. We were being misled. A lot of Liberians were being told that Mr. Alexander Cummings is a pure man, he's a fair man, he's a clean man. And we carry out the argument that you cannot tell whether or not this man is a clean man unless you work in a corrupt society, in a corrupt environment. And we can see for ourselves that now he is being totally induced into the environment. You see what he's doing. It is clear. There are people from the Liberty Party who actually took $500 to sign up to go to the convention, who have come on local radio stations around the country to confess and say they had to take the money from Mr. Alexander Cummings' ability due to economic hardship. And this is the guy that the ANC has been selling to us to be the pure and the clean guy. And this guy believes in his ability. He believes that he can campaign. He believes that his message can resonate with the Liberian people. Why is he buying support if he's an honest man? So what we're saying to the Liberian people, it's time for you to open your eyes. And this is the reason why Omer Boakai made sure he allowed everything to exhaust itself so that everybody can see from different spectrums. This man called Alexander Cummings is bad news. and he should not be in our politics. Joseph Boakai is the way forward, and let us galvanize and wrap our arms around this man so that we can move Liberia to a greater, higher high, my brother.
Thank you so very much. You said Mr. Cummings is bad news without any evidence. He's just pressing the other side. This is what these people who support these politicians do. Their side is good. They don't see any fault. The other side is just bad. Aliyu Kamara was our last caller. We have to leave it there. Aliyu, I get the last, saying. All right, folks, in cyberspace, this is how we will come to the end of this yet another exciting, informative, balanced, and fairer edition of the Our Politics here. Focus on Liberia, where we educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. You want to hear me for my closing, right? And some of you like my closing, and some of you don't like. Folks, we will close like this. It was expected. It was predicted. It was politically prophesied that this CPP, given the way it started, would never come to make it to the promised land as a political unit. It was prophesied. Many have said it. It is not because it's happened in the past. It's not because the history books are clear for which that prediction or that prophecy was made. It was because of the way they started. It was because of this thing called power. And when you have people coming together, wanting one thing and one thing only, power, in this case, presidential power, there's always this possibility that they will not agree who becomes the head of that power. Such is the case now with the CPP. And a few months ago, maybe a few weeks ago, I posted the CPP is yet another bad example. And people were commenting. When you are counting smart people in Liberia, my name would not be called. But when you are counting conscious-minded Liberians, sober about the direction of our country, just maybe, my name might be called. For I know where I have come. I see a terrible path when I see one. And I know one when I know one. I might be sounding philosophical to some of you. But back to the story with my closing. So all along we knew that there was a political conflict here. A Cummings who feels and believes that he is the best opportunity for our country given the time we are in. And we have a Joseph Boakai who has been boasting about his experience and years of public service in government, and that he has the proven track record to be able to lead a country, and will go and narrate about his past experiences and positions that he held in government. And that he has the name recognition. And not only he's the one who says that, his supporters go ahead to also say that. And then a piece of history. Unity Party in 2005. That will make it to the second round. In 2011, that will make it to the second round. In 2017, that will also make it to the second round. And this time, the Unity Party was rejected by the Liberian people. The Unity Party was pronounced by many Liberians as being corrupt. And in Boakai's words, the Unity Party as a political institution has squandered opportunities. He said that. And yet that Boakai will make it to the second round over is now President George Manawia. So this is a unity party. That was the ugliest of all, that Liberians felt at some point, especially during the time of the election, that they not do well by them, despite of the enormous opportunity it has had to do so. And so the choice was what? We are was changed. Unity Party was not a change. And yet that Unity Party will make it to the second round. That we are now, arguably, it's not doing well enough. Prices are in the roof. The economic situation in the country is perilous, in the words of Satya. It's crunching. It's crushing. It's debilitating for the ordinary man. Getting a couple rides in a day is virtually impossible. Transportation is like a hustle on a daily basis for the ordinary man. Electricity cannot be provided. Even the Unity Party did not do so. But what I'm saying is, they had thought who have provided all of these things is no longer doing them, thereby giving the people another understanding that all the Unity Party was better. And in the mind of Bwaka, and in the minds of people who support the Unity Party, the thing, they have done a better job compared to President Weah. And so why were the Liberian people in their calculation that have come to know that they were better than the Weah, the Jews, will not want to go back to them? And so Bwaka is on record. I am the only one who can take President Weah down. And listen to me, folks, I'm using these people's words. I'm not twisting anything. I get the last word, right? So Bwaka said, I am the only one who can take President Weah down. And despite his promise to the entire world on a BBC interview that I am going to resolve the issue. I have the track record of resolving issues. But then we had a caller who said the issues cannot be resolved. They have reached an unresolvable point. So you cannot blame Bwaka. Now, on the other hand, is a Cummings. Some people call him steady-handed. Some people call him cool. Some people say he's collective. Somebody will say collected. I don't know why. Some people think he has the cash and he can use that money. And that he is the new kid on the block. He is Mr. Clean Hands. And what I'm saying is that these two sides, the Unity Party of the world and the ANC of the world, each side believe their guy is the best thing for Liberia, and that's the only thing Liberia must have. And anything short of that will not hold. And given these firm ideological beliefs, if we can pull it that way, that is not actually ideological. I should know better. But these have been somewhat minded, believed. I want to pull it that way. Power is vast. Power is not only the presidency. And yet, Cummings is also on record that the only way he can make a greater impact in Liberia is when he is given the opportunity to be president of Liberia. But I would say to his credit too, let's go to the primary, he said, and if I don't win, I will respect the process. Even though he said only the presidency will make him to be able to make a greater impact. He comes from the corporate world. In America, corporate America makes a much better impact in the life of this country, America, than even the government. I can make the argument. But I have to close now. And I have to tell you thank you now. And the prophecies that have been made by many has come to fruition. The CPP is dead upon arrival. The candidates are now going their individual ways. We want to see plans by them, from them, for Liberia. We want them to be able to go into the presidential debate, even though they will not subject themselves to debate within their own individual parties. But we really do want to see that. It is a competition. Either you play by the rules, or you play Joshua and not go to the debate and will go to win anyway. It is democracy. The people have the power. The people get to decide who should be president. Not me, not my opinion, not you. Such is the case of this thing called democracy. It's brilliant. It gets better. Sometimes it gets nasty. That's the political side. That's the side that I try to cover. That's the side that I try to analyze always. But until I see you again, that is when I see you, and when I see you with another edition of the Hour of Politics here at Focus on Liberia, where we educate and elevate and promote all things Liberia. On behalf of this network, we want to say to you, Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. But we cannot leave you without this wonderful song. This wonderful song that reminds us of who we are as a country and as a people. It says, we are all Liberians. Enjoy that song for a minute. And maybe tell me thank you later. Bye-bye, folks.
We are Liberians. Liberia is our home.